Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the top 10 LRs in Dokkan. So, I don't know, rather than like a top 10 overall units, I'm doing top 10. I guess I could still do a top 10 overall units. Because I'm sure I'd probably have like the androids and Super Saiyan 3 Goku in there probably. But, okay, the main thing I'm doing with this list, so this is going to be top 10 LRs. That don't EZA. I'm just gonna take EZA units out of the equation here. So I think that potentially bumps two characters off this list, or at least one, in LR, STR, Broly, and then potentially, Goku and Frieza. Those are like the two, sort of like yellow coin EZA characters, who potentially could have made it onto this list, right? So I guess we'll go ahead and start with who we have at number 10. I actually have LR Buuhan here at 10. I think Buuhan is sort of aging fine. He's certainly not, on the high level of power that he was when he first released compared to like newer, stronger, like power creep units that have come out. One major issue for Buuhan / Bootanks here is the fact that he does not get big bad bosses until turn 4. That definitely does hurt him when it comes to using him on villain teams, right? Actually, really badly it hurts him, because he already is going to be a great unit for long events because he is a defensive stacking character, right? So it's like you would really want big bad bosses for using him in, like, super battle road stages and stuff like that. But regardless, this guy is still incredibly powerful. He's still definitely like a main unit on a lot of these sort of like villain teams here. Stuff like Transformation Boost, Sworn Enemies, right? Majin Power is a lot better with SCR Kid Buu having been released into the game. I think Buuhan / Bootanks is still a very powerful character. One thing that's interesting too, so these icons, these are in the order I believe that they were made. So one thing so UI Goku and Vegeta were made before Buuhan and Turles and Gohan and these characters. That's interesting. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and bring out LR Future Gohan and Trunks. Now, this unit is really good. And one thing I do want to point out with my list is I definitely do give like more credit, I think, to the revive mechanic than most people do. I think the revive mechanic is ridiculously broken, super good, super valuable. And one thing I've noticed with a lot of people and how they evaluate a lot of these characters is they don't really give any, like, I don't know, points to the fact that these characters can potentially revive. Basically, the way this character works, I think that Gohan and Trunks right here, like, they're good, but like they're just like good, right? Like if it wasn't for the exchange, like this character wouldn't even be on this list, honestly. Because this character, right? You guys have I frequently talk about like how easy LRs get key. Typically is a good like factor in how good they are. That's one reason I've never been as big a fan as LR Turles as other people, because all Turles is doing for the most part is giving himself his 3 key from his support type buff, right? It's like if you have like AGL Turles with him, or like, that character, sure. But guess what? AGL Turles sucks. So the version of LR Turles in everyone's heads is not the version of LR Turles that you're typically running, right? Like key is an issue for LR Turles. And key is a major issue for this unit. This unit does not get key from their passive. All they're doing is creating AGL orbs, and then the orb restrictions are way too tough for this character. Considering bullshit like full power Frieza exists on Hit and God Goku, it is insanity to me that you have all of these orb restrictions, right? You need 5 orbs, then you need 5 AGL orbs, and then you need 8 orbs is a huge number, right? I've found this unit to really be not that impressive unless they're getting 5 AGL key spheres. They could be nice defensively, but it's like, again, Hit and God Goku are better defensively than Gohan and Trunks, while also shooting out 511 billion damage, which this unit does not right here, right? So it's like, they're good, right? But this guy is where the unit gets crazy. But the problem is, this is fine right here. The HP restriction, totally cool. The thing that hurts this unit is this right here. I have already had several instances in Super Battle Road where I would have been able to exchange and potentially revive if it was not for this bullshit turn restriction. That is so stupid. The HP restriction by itself, I think, would be okay, but also giving it a turn restriction hurts this unit in Super Battle Road. You could say no all you want, but it does. It hurts this unit because, you know, you could chain, like, revive with future Gohan, and he could completely carry you through Super Battle Road stages if you could, like, finish the first fight, go into the second fight, boom, exchange, revive, and you're in God mode future Gohan, right? Because the thing about this guy, when he revives, this is like the best unit in the game, when this guy revives. Keep in mind that unlike other revived characters, Gohan himself has to die, right? Which is why he gets the Scouter. This future Gohan is so dumb, this guy right here. This is the reason he's even on this list. But it's not the easiest to get to God mode future Gohan where you exchange and then you revive and then he's invincible while doing a bajillion, trillion, million amounts of damage to every single enemy in the world, right? Super good, but he's just got some flaws and some downsides. By the way, future Gohan does not struggle for ki, right? Because he's getting that right there, and then he also gets this after he revives. So this guy doesn't struggle for ki, but this unit does struggle for ki, right? Okay, so there was future Gohan and Trunks. Next, we have LR Janemba right here. I think LR Janemba is very, very powerful. Remember that LR Janemba is my pick for best defense unit in the game. People get really mad at me when I say that, but I stand by it. I feel very comfortable calling LR Janemba the best defensive unit in the game. I'll repeat it again. I think this is the best defensive unit in the game. Best defensive unit in the game. I'm not backing down from that. I do think that. This guy's problem, like future Gohan and Trunks and some of these other units, ki. Ki is his issue at the start of events. Janemba will struggle with ki and he will struggle with damage. Both of those are just not going to be adequate for an LR this recent, right? I mean, on global, this is a 2022 unit. But if you're able to build this guy up in slot 2 and 3, like, you know, as you build these attacks up, he is God, right? Like, in long events, you know, you're talking about a unit that's 350k plus defense with guard, super attack nullification, very easily super attacking once he builds this ki up and stuff like that. Janembas have a really good link sets, so he does work very well in villain teams. One of the big problems for Janemba is his lack of category teams. I mean, Exploding Rage and Crota Body and Mind, to me, are literally nothing teams. So he's got Movie Bosses, Transformation Boost, and Accelerate. Accelerated Battle is a real category. And especially with the new Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Fate-Induced Battle / Accelerated Battle is a disgusting, ridiculous team. If I do a top 10 leader skills, I might even have Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku as 1, honestly, in terms of leader skills. That team is insane. Because you could build it in so many different ways, right? Okay, so Janemba's super good. He does have this rage mechanic, but I always feel these to me suck unless you could use them turn 1 Super Battle Road. That's where I feel like these would be useful. This bullshit like this guy and LR Rose, getting him like deep into long events, I feel like it does nothing. You're barely hurting those bosses at that point because these characters like don't have links active. You know, it gets stupid. I think Rage Mode is more of a short event mechanic, but they gate it. All these characters, Namek Goku, this guy, LR Rose, behind huge turn restrictions. I don't understand. That's why Babies is good. LR Baby, because you could do his turn 1, right? He just has an HP restriction, and you could potentially do it. Turn restrictions on Rage and Giant forms are just like ass. Absolute ass. So, like, when I talk about Janemba, I don't even factor in his shitty Rage form. Alright, so next we have the Exchange Goku and Vegeta. Damn, this unit, I have him at 7, huh? Yeah. The unit at 6, This unit is so good because, again, a very easy thing to talk about is how much ki this character just gives himself for free at the start of turn. It is very, very helpful, right? Good Saiyan link set. He's on a lot of good teams, right? Um, able to do tremendous amounts of damage very easily with all the ki he gives himself. And then of course he also is a revive character. Again, I really do try and give bonus points to these revive characters. Now, the way this works is you just have to get below 30% HP, and then this Vegeta loses all of his defense, so he can die pretty easily. And unlike future Gohans, where future Gohan has to die, it could be anyone on rotation. So it's not bad getting this guy out as long as you can fall under 30% HP. I have found that to be like very inconsistent. Typically, enemies don't like whittle you down to under 30% HP and then kill you. It's like, okay, here's 85% of your HP gone in one hit. Is typically how it seems to work. But if you are able to revive with this character, which I have gotten fairly frequently in difficult content, then you swap to Goku. Goku is busted. Goku is really powerful. One thing that is a bit of a shame, though, is like, I don't know why they chose to give him like All in the Family and stuff like that, because it's like, this is the Goku family link. I mean, the Japanese, like, it's literally just called Sun Family in Japanese, right? And it's like, a lot of these teams, you're not rocking a lot of like Sun Family characters, which is sort of the issue, right? And the other thing too is that All in the Family, there aren't really Gokus that are really good that have All in the Family, like mega top tier Gokus. Like outside of this LR, that's pretty much it, right? Like if you look at all the other Gokus on here, they're all aging or not really that crazy or anything like that, right? So there's that. This guy is ridiculously good though. I think this unit is incredible. I would like to have them higher up on this list, but this is where the list sort of gets crazy. I do think the Goku and Vegeta are definitely better than Janemba. I kind of feel like Janemba is I don't know, this Goku and Vegeta, they're closer to who I have at 6 than who I have at 8, basically. I'm cheating. The next spot is going to be both of these two units. I do think STR Vegito is better, but these units are so similarly built. I am cheating and putting them both in the same slot. You can't do anything about it. That's just the way it's going to be. The way this works is I feel like the Angel, Goku, and Vegeta are better right here. This unit is better. But then once they transform, I like Vegito a lot better than Gogeta. I do. They really, really went out of their way to just shaft Gogeta for no reason, right? I mean, he only has a scouter effect for 5 turns. Vegito has one for fucking 10 turns, right? It's like Gogeta is a Rainbow Orb Changer, which is sick. But this is so stupid. This is such shit design to me. They give him super effective against all types, and then they add crit chance on there. Like, I feel like Dokkan built this guy, and they put both of those on the same unit, and it's like, whoa, calm down, dude. Oh my god, he's so crazy, right? But it's like, I would much rather they get rid of this, even though it's amazing. This is an amazing ability, but he's already super effective against all types. So get rid of this and then give him something else that would be better. Honestly, I would like this Gogeta better if they took the crit chance away and then bumped this up to 10 turns. I feel like I would like him better. I really would. You know what? Or actually, you know what they really should have did? Get rid of this and give him a guaranteed additional super. I think that would have been very effective. That would have really helped this guy. Because the problem is it's like this Gogeta is definitely very tanky, right? His defenses are going to be very high. He's got damage reduction. I feel like the damage reduction could have been higher, by the way. This damage reduction easily, I think they could have given him 50% or something. I think it could have been higher, and he would have been quite a bit better at that point, too. But the problem is that Gogeta actually, you cannot even compare him to Vegito's damage, right? Gogeta does like 1/4 or less of the damage Vegito does. I mean, to be fair, I do think this is the most damaging unit in the game, personally. I think when this guy comes out, still nothing in the game matches the damage he does. I don't think so. There's nothing that matches what he does. Because I think counters. I think counters as a mechanic is very overrated. But again, not on LRs that have 150% attack at the start of turn and 21,000 fucking attack. Counters are like underrated on this guy. Like he is God. Yeah, he can take a lot of damage in difficult content 100%. But the thing is too is that, you know, you fuse with him and he heals. You know, remember that the Goku and Vegeta Angel, they're one of the main reasons I like this unit overall better too is this. This is really good because it's like when you're going through difficult content and, you know, it's like, okay, like I could use the heal, I could use a scouter, like you're able to get this out when you need it, right? Because this unit is the Goku and Vegeta, they're pretty good defensively, they're tanky, you know, they're able to do decent damage. They have, I think, the best link set in the game. These two, I think this is the best link set in the game, the one that these two share. But things get bad and you're able to fuse with this character, right? And then you have the scouter effect and you heal. The heal is so big. The problem with this unit, in difficult content, it's like if shit goes bad, you're not able to fuse with these guys. That's what I hate. I absolutely despise that. Like, they built it in a way where you fuse with Vegito and then you fuse with Gogeta. But I despise it. I actually would have just preferred this unit have, like, the same condition or something like that. Like, I don't know. I guess if it was the same condition, you wouldn't be able to fuse with both of them at the same time, is their thinking. But it just leads to this unit overall being worse, I think. So it's dumb. Both are really good, though. Even though I think the Vegito unit is better, I've never thought this unit is bad in any way. I've always thought they were ridiculously good, and we've got them very high up here. All right. I think this next unit is where things will get controversial. People hate this guy. Evolution Blue Vegeta. I think Evolution Blue Vegeta is, again, way better than people give him credit for. He does have a lot of flaws in his kit, which they just randomly did not. It doesn't make sense. Like, UI Goku, they're just like, yep, just, you know, whatever. Dude, fuck it. Just give him everything. Make him have no flaws. Like, he's great. And then Vegeta, they're just like, whatever. Like, just make him shitty, I guess. Like, I don't know. I actually, it's stunning to me that there's people who seriously, like, thought this guy compared to UI Goku. Like, nah, man. Like, they did not do well with this guy. They did not do right by Vegeta, right? There's numerous flaws with his kit. He doesn't have Super Saiyan, which is just asinine, because, like, you're going to be running him on all these Super Saiyan teams, so he sort of is bringing down, like, a little bit of those teams. This mechanic sucks ass. I think any mechanic where units are building up damage reduction in a turn that resets at the end of the turn, it sucks. It's a shit mechanic. If Vegeta would build up the damage reduction and then keep it, he'd be a lot better, right? Like, that'd be okay. I think that's totally fine, right? He takes his 3 hits, boom, damage reduction fully built up, he's goated at that point, sure. But they didn't give him that. It resets each turn, which is stupid. This, I think, is horrible as well. I mean, directly comparing him to UI Goku, because the units came out together. Goku just instantly gets his 5 key from dodging, whereas Vegeta has to slowly build up throughout turns. But UI Goku and Vegeta, they have this ridiculous mechanic, 50% chance to crit for the turn on both super attacks. I feel like I've seen it many times where Vegeta and UI Goku will triple super, triple crit. These units typically punch much higher than their attack stats because of the fact that they do have such a high chance to crit. Remember that Vegeta has a revive that is one of the easier ones to get in the game. Just get hit 7 times and you are able to revive, which is obviously a very strong ability. Again, I do highly value these revives. I think those are, it's a very powerful mechanic. Vegeta does have an AoE active skill right here. But the problem is it's 4th turn. Like, I don't know. This guy would be very OP. If it was turn 1 and, like, any Super Battle Road run, you're just, like, AoEing, like, nuking the field instantly, that would be so strong. But, like, it's just turn 4, multiple enemies is very uncommon, I feel like. That's just not a common occurrence, I don't think. Overall, his link set is good, but again, no Super Saiyan does hurt. He's on a lot of teams, which is good. He's a pretty versatile unit. I think this guy is really good. I do think he deserves to be this high up. Even above STR Vegito and Tech Gogeta. I know people are gonna hate me for that I put Vegeta above those two, but I do like Vegeta better than them. I think Vegeta is. Dude, can I really toss out the word underrated? I don't know, but Vegeta is definitely better than people give him credit for. I've always thought that. Vegeta's always been overhated, but he does have actual flaws in his kit for sure. Okay, next is this dumbass unit. I don't know what in the hell they were thinking. Like, it's actually insane to me that they dropped this insanity, and then the next LR is Gohan and Trunks. Are they high? Like, what are you doing? Like, this unit, basically, they have one flaw: limited amounts of teams, and that's it. And we're done. After that, this unit is starting the turn out with 250k plus defense. And then they get 60% defense in slot 1 or 2, and then they're giving themselves defense right here. And oh, by the way, then they're also 50% chance dodging. Oh, and they're also 50% chance stunning. This unit is crazy. If they weren't limited, like if they were just like, okay, if Dokkan did these units the way Legends did, where they're on all, so like this, so this unit would then be on Goku Family, Pure Saiyan, Rapid Growth, Universe 6, Reps of Universe 7, right? Like, they just added to all those category teams. I might have this unit at, like, 2 or something like that. Like, I don't know. This unit, they're so dumb. Like, they're actually just so insane. The way they will dominate is just nuts. Again, 50% chance to stun, 50% chance to dodge with like 400k plus defense while shooting out 7, 8, 9 million attack stats very easily. They have one of the best LR key mechanics in the game, which is just, oh, the turn started, you get 6 key. Or, oh, you're in slot 3, you get 7 key. Like, that's a good unit. That's a good key mechanic right there. Just the turn starts, and they have all the key they need. This unit is dumb. They have this as well. I guess this is sort of a flaw, is that I think this restriction is a little bit tight right here. I think what they easily could have done with this, which would have been way better, just make this like turn 6 or something like that. I think would have been much more effective as a restriction. Because 3 super attacks with this character, I mean, it's difficult for bosses to survive like 1 super attack from this unit, right? And like, you know, a lot of times I feel like running them in slot 2 is probably the way to go to maximize their, you know, 50% chance to dodge and 400k defense. But like, I found this to be a very annoying, like, secretly, I feel like this is one of the worst restrictions there is. 3 supers on this unit and the HP restriction, because you could be a smartass and say, turn 1, you can triple super in slot 3. Yeah, you can. But what enemy is living them triple supering? Nothing, dude. The enemies don't survive this character triple supering. So it's like, you're not gonna triple super turn 1, and then even then at bare minimum it's turn 4 where you could use your active skill. I just have found this condition to be very restrictive. The buff is powerful though. A 13% attack and defensive active skill buff for this summonable LR character is very powerful. This unit is super dumb. They also have a better leader skill than many of the other units on this list. Let's look at leader skills. Vegeta's is not... I don't know what they were thinking with the 6th anniversary LR's leader skills. SCR Vegeta's is still dummy good. I do like the Tech Gogeta's leader skill. I think it's pretty good. Yours sucks. 130% is trash. Janemba's a better movie boss's leader than a lot of the Rollies are. I do like this leader skill. 2 categories, 150% is solid. Buuhan has a good leader skill as well. Okay. So next we move on to, I have Namek Goku at number 3 right here. Namek Goku is ridiculously powerful. Basically the way it pans out for me when I'm using Namek Goku, turn 1, he can be a bit unimpressive defensively, and then typically after that, he will settle in and begin dominating. I think you can make the case that this guy is the best unit in the game for long events. Personally, I think I probably would say Kale and Khalifa, though, because I feel like their turn 6 heal is so powerful. Where it's like, not only will that unit become untouchable, but then they can heal you, right? For like, and make up for other units' weaknesses on the team. Namek Goku doesn't have the heal. I do think Namek Goku as well, his ki, he could struggle for ki at times, because he's only giving himself 2 ki, and then he gets ki right here only if you're fighting an extreme class enemy, which is uncommon. I think it's way more common to fight super class enemies. So like, those are sort of the problems with Goku. You can make the case for sure, though, that you want to hit the 12 key super attack with Goku anyway to get the defensive stacking. Honestly, using full power Frieza, Buuhan, Namek Goku, I do think it's better that the characters stack defense with their 12 key super attack than their 18 key. Again, like Buuhan and full power Frieza do. Because this way you can very easily triple super turn 1 with Goku and triple defensive stack, right? Whereas if you triple super with full power Frieza, you do your 18 key super stack defense, and then from there he's just stacking his attack, right? So I do think that the stacking defense in 12 key is more powerful. I feel like in the future, I think Goku probably will end up better than full power Frieza. Once, like, Namek Goku and full power Frieza would fall to, like, 10th and below on this list. By that point, right, then I think Goku will probably be better than Frieza. Because Frieza, who I guess I have next, and then I do have UI Goku at 1. We might as well just go ahead and fill this in, and we'll talk about all these characters. The thing about Frieza is he's still good if you just, like, randomly throw him on a team, but he's only, like, good. He's not, like, best unit in the game level good if you just throw him on the team. Whereas UI Goku, Namek Goku, I think you definitely can more, like, casually throw them on, like, any sort of team build, and they will be sort of really good, right? I think that's, like, a huge advantage for Namek Goku and UI Goku, right? Because, again, like, if we look at Frieza, right? Frieza, the main thing is he's got to be hitting these 18 key super attacks in order for him to stack defense. He will have the same key issues that Namek Goku does, because he has, like, sort of like the same way of building key. The only thing is that it's definitely more common that you're fighting super class enemies. And then, of course, you know, full power Frieza was given the gift of third form Frieza, who is absolutely just so busted. Namek Goku was not given an equivalent to third form Frieza, too. It's another reason why Frieza is better right now, I think, is because he just gets third form Frieza, who is actually, like, I feel like almost a contender for top 10, like, units in the game overall, goddamn near, right? Like, it's actually insane how good that third form Frieza is. And then it's like Namek Goku, they're like, here's shitty tech Piccolo, have fun, right? Like, it's just not fair at all to Namek Goku. Now, Frieza, again, the reason why he can struggle a little bit, I think if you just toss him on a random team, if you're not putting him on rotation, if you're floating him and stuff like that, is because he does have to do his 18 key to stack defense, and then he does have this, which he loses. Now, this is not an issue if you're running Frieza main rotation, you know, you're tossing your super attacks out. By the time this wears off, you don't even really feel his defense loss from this, right? But if he's not on rotation, you will feel this effect of losing this, right? That's the main thing with this Frieza. The main sort of drawback is you have to build the team around him to sort of maximize him. Where, again, as UI Goku and Namek Goku, you can just sort of toss out there and they're fine. So Goku and Frieza also have their active skills. I am not a fan of the restriction for these. So Goku can only do it against an extreme class enemy with 30% HP or less. It's got to be one enemy as well. And then Frieza's is the same, but super class. Frieza's you will see way more often because, you know, Legendary Vegeta event, Legendary Goku event, most of these Infinite Drama History stages, again, they're all super class enemies. Think of the God event, the entire God event, all super class enemies, right? So that's why I like Goku's. I think, personally, this is my favorite animation in the game currently. Goku's active skill right here. And you just don't really get a chance to see it that often, which is a bummer. Goku's on a million teams. Again, you could take full advantage of Goku being on all these teams. You could just randomly toss him on there, and he could be very powerful. This Goku is a very powerful slot 3 unit. Very, very good, right? Whereas, like, again, full power Frieza is definitely a king. Like, all these, like, villain teams. Transformation Boost, you know, Terrifying Conquerors, Space Traveling Warriors, Inhuman Deeds in the future when it gets a real team, Planetary Destruction, Sworn Enemies, Battle of Fate. Like, Full Power Frieza can be, like, your ace on all of these teams, right? But you do want to build it around him. And then I do have UI Goku as 1. Now, personally, I don't think Namek Goku is really in the discussion with Frieza and UI Goku currently, right? I think Frieza, actually, his damage and his output is just, like, actually too insane. Namek Goku can't really keep up right now. Again, Namek Goku is probably the best unit in the game for long events. Or, well, I'm going to say number 2. I really do like killing Khalifa with their heal. But the thing is UI Goku to me is like the king of short events. Now, the amount of times people will like they'll like tweet me a screenshot of UI Goku taking 1,000,000 damage and be like, oh, "This is your best unit, huh?" And it's like, well, yeah, you just got unlucky, right? 70% chance to dodge. Guess what happens? Like, when people tweet these screenshots, like of Namek or of UI Goku, if you put Namek Goku, if you put like the STR Vegito unit, right? You put Evolution Blue Vegeta, Full Power Frieza. You put any of these other units in that same spot, and they're taking just as much damage. Pure Saiyan Extreme Super Battle Road, Universal's Rival Saga Extreme Super Battle Road, getting supered immediately. Like, yeah, like all of these units are dead, right? Like who survives that? I mean, the thing about these two is they do have damage reduction, but they get a lot of defense when they super from their super attack effects. So they're much better off defensively after they super. I mean, Janemba would live, sure. Buuhan ain't. Turn 1, Super Battle Road, he's dying. This unit, like, they get a lot of their defensive ability after they super attack as well. And that's one reason why I like UI Goku so much, is that if you look at this entire list, all these characters, UI Goku is far and away the best turn 1, slot 1 unit in Super Battle Road. I think even over, like, LR, well, yeah, probably even over LR Janemba. The reason I call Janemba the best defensive unit in the game and not UI Goku is that, remember, UI Goku is still built around dodging. In long events, Legendary Vegeta event, GT Legendary Goku event, you get to the final phase and dodging is canceled, right? The bosses do not let you dodge. So that hurts this guy. Like, he will carry you all the way to that last phase, and then at that point, he does become a liability, because if he gets supered, you're just dead, right? Because this guy gets this big defensive buff after he dodges an attack, which you're not able to do in the final phase of those legendary events, right? Whereas Janemba, by the time you get to Evolution Blue Vegeta and Tech Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Janemba has, 350k plus defense with guard and super attack, ki blast nullification, right? He's not taking damage to those bosses, whereas Goku can get you killed. Goku has just a lot of other, like, really strong parts about his kit, right? Again, the 50% chance to crit on any super attack. The damage this guy does is much higher than his attack stats would imply because of his crit mechanic, just the same as Evolution Blue Vegeta. They do much more damage than people realize because of that crit mechanic. Goku has a great ki mechanic. This is typically very easy to build up fast, just getting a bunch of dodges, and he gets ki, right? You could very easily have this fully built up before Goku even attacks once. Very easy to get that done. One thing that always is a flaw, when people are comparing UI Goku to Vegeta, they always fuck themselves up, because UI Goku has a tougher revive mechanic to get, right? Because he has to get hit 3 times. And you have to have the HP restriction. People would concede that, oh yeah, Vegeta has a way better revive mechanic. Okay, so you're admitting that Goku, it's very difficult for him to get hit then, right? Like, then he's doing his job. He's fulfilling the job he needs to do. He does also have his active skill, turn 4 active skill, which, does good damage. Sure, it's fine. He has a really good link set. His link set, I think, does end up being better than Vegeta's. This is probably one of the few issues I have with this unit. I do think he would be better if this was over in a flash instead of shocking speed. I think that this UI Goku would be better at that point. I feel like it would be better if this guy worked better with, say, like blue fusions, Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue, who have over in a flash. More so than like a lot of the god characters, Whis and Beerus and stuff like that have shocking speed. So I do think Goku would be better with over in a flash instead of shocking speed. Right now, a lot of those fusions units aren't really the craziest, but I mean, in a week, we could see a couple of crazy over in a flash, like, fusion characters, right? So I think that pretty much covers it, right? Again, as you guys know, I feel like I'm very consistent in the way I'm evaluating these characters, right? Maybe you could disagree with me, but I really do care how well a unit performs in Super Battle Road, because to me, that's the toughest events in the game, right? Because it's these super short fights against multiple enemies that could just blow you away in an instant, right? Like Full Power Frieza and Namek, like you could go into the Legendary Vegeta event, turn 10 and be like, look at this, so much better than UI Goku and Vegeta, and it's like, yeah, cool. What about turn 1, Super Battle Road? Like, where it's way harder, right? There's so many more characters who dominate long events than dominate short events. That's why I really value these short event characters. That's why I got UI Goku at 1. Now, I've talked all this. I do think you could very easily make the case for Frieza as 1, though. he's just too good. His damage is just like, it's so common for like turn 1, 8 million attack stat, and then he's triple supering, and then he's stacking, and it just gets out of control. Like, this guy is just like so crazy. So it's like, I think you easily could put Frieza at 1 on this list, and I don't argue that, right? Like, I do think Frieza's worthy of that number 1 spot. But I just feel like Frieza, he can get caught turn 1 of Super Battle Road. But at the same time, I've had so many runs where it's like, okay, turn 1, slot 1, Frieza and third form Frieza are together. They don't super full power Frieza right away, and then full power Frieza just wins the fight instantly, right? Is typically what happens. If they don't super Frieza off the fight right away, he just kills everything instantly. Like, that's typically how that goes. Because it's like, full power Frieza massacres everything, and then you have third form Frieza coming right after him, who does ridiculous amounts of damage and is untouchable. Like, that's one of the things with full power Frieza compared to, like, all of these. None of these other characters got, like, a third form Frieza with their release the way full power Frieza did. I guess you could maybe say Tech Hit for the God Goku and Hit, but Tech Hit doesn't support, right? He's just a great linking partner that's also very powerful. None of these other characters got the equivalent of third form Frieza with them, right? Like, full power Frieza would still be one of the best units in the game, but I think he would definitely, he wouldn't be as just, I don't know, dominant without third form Frieza right there. And it's like, I don't think there's a problem with evaluating full power Frieza 2 with third form Frieza, because again, third form Frieza is better than like the entire game anyway. There's actually no reason you wouldn't run third form Frieza other than you're just trying to make this guy look bad. It's the only reason you wouldn't run third form Frieza, right? Because he's better than like nearly every other villain unit in the game anyway. And then he makes this guy, who, again, is right up there as best unit in the game material, he makes him even better. So it's just a nasty combo. And that's a big thing that people don't understand about both full power Frieza and third form Frieza, right? There's a big difference between third form Frieza and, like, physical Kid Buu. You get the two together, and it's just GG, you won, typically. But yeah. All right, so let's see. Do I feel comfortable with this list? Yes, I do. Yep. All right, let's take a look at it. Gohan and Krillin, I just feel like they have flaws with, like, their link sets, and, you know, they can have issues. They can do a lot of damage, so their defense can be good. I think version Z Goku's really good, but he's not top 10 unit material. I think these 5 have flaws. Turles, I think, is definitely the best of, like, all of these characters right here, for sure. I think I'm taking Turles over all of these guys. Turles, I think in the, like, Turles is going to be a lot better in the future than he is right now. Because I do think that Turles he's pretty much as good as people think he is when you have another Turles next to him. The problem is that right now there's no good Turleses besides the LR Turles, right? AGL Turles gets his EZA, and this unit, this guy with, let's pretend AGL Turles is the best EZA to UR in the game, right? I would have LR Turles maybe even as high as 9. I don't know that I would put LR Turles in front of Janemba, but I think I would probably have him in front of Gohan and Trunks and Buuhan. Just if AGL Turles EZA'd, right? This unit is fodder, they suck. Because now, like, it took them too long to give them a partner, and now power creep is catching up, and this unit is just not, like, you know, doing a bajillion, oh my god, they're so crazy. Nope, power creep is too strong. Now the unit lost its window, they suck ass. This is one of the worst releases ever, this Goku and Vegeta. Jiren is really good, but he's aged. UI Goku is really good, but he's aged. I think if I was to put a unit at 11, it would probably be UI Goku, I think. I think you could easily put UI Goku in front of Buuhan, actually. Yeah. I don't think... Yeah, you could. But I wouldn't put, like, any of these units above 9. Turles, again, with an AGL Turles EZA, or like a new Dokkan Fest Turles or something like that, sure. AGL Gohan is still solid. Kale and Cauliflower is still good, right? So there we go. Let me know what you guys think. Let me see, what's going to be controversial? People are going to hate my positioning of Evolution Blue Vegeta. The smart asses always whine about UI Goku. Oh, he got supered for me once, he sucks. But, like, you put any other unit in that exact situation and they get killed as well, right? Like, it's the horrible logic, right? Yeah, I think Vegeta and UI Goku are going to be the controversial parts of this list. I don't know that anything else is really too crazy. I mean, if you say Janemba sucks, you just have no idea what you're talking about. Like, it's just that simple, right? Janemba does not suck at all. He's insane. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.